president of ours turned back in just less than 2 weeks, turned back so many of the harmful policies that the previous president had implemented. The first day, he rescinded the racist Muslim ban. And many of you have been pushing for that for the last 4 years. So thank you. In the first 2 weeks, he signed an executive memorandum that basically said what we've been begging Trump to do for the last year, to say out loud that discrimination against Asian Americans is wrong. We couldn't get our previous president to say that. So, those are just two examples of what fruits that the success of your work has brought to this country and to our community. And last, I would just say I'm so proud of the Bangladeshi American community. I am biased because I'm from New York, but we have a strong and dedicated Bangladeshi American community. And I know that it's similar in places all around the country. Let's partner together. Let's make sure that we are continuing our work together. Trump was a symptom of our party not working closely enough with us in past years, and we don't ever want to see that kind of mistake again. So we will continue our work together nationally with Bell, with our various state community leaders here today. I know I've been to some of your states, and whether it's virtually or in person, I hope to continue to do what we can to strengthen your outreach and organizing efforts. But I'm so proud of all of you. Congratulations. Take a little bit time to relax, and we will get back to work again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congresswoman Grace Meng. Your inspiring words for our community. Not only that, you did a lot of jobs and great works for our community, including all of the diverse communities. We owe a great credit for you, all recognitions for you. Grace Meng, thank you very much. Now I'm going to introduce our one great leader from our community, Ambassador Usman Siddiqui. Perhaps everybody knows him very well, who he is. He was an ambassador appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1998, Fiji and adjacent states. Mr. Ambassador Siddiqui did a great job at taking that American values to Fiji and South Pacific countries. He is the first Bangladeshi born US ambassador, also South Asian and the Muslim. So we salute him. He is, I call him as leaders of the leader and politics, Bangladeshi American politics, father of the Bangladeshi American politics. Mr. Ambassador Siddiqui, floor is yours. Please say a few words for our community. Thank you, Mr. Siddiqui.
Mr. Anis, he's not here yet. Can you
Oh,
please
it's not?
move to the no?
Okay. So he's not here, so I will. We will go to. Is Mr. Sheikh Roman is there? Mr. Sheikh Roman.
Yes. One moment.
Ladies and
Hello,
gentlemen, hello,
I'm
Mr. Sheikh.
here.
I'm sorry that you are traveling, and I understand that your time is very precious from house to from state house to your own house, and also you have to visit many houses too. So we are very pleased, and it's gracious that you could attend and you are joining us. I don't introduce Mr. Sheikh Rahman. He is the first elected position in America, born in Bangladesh, came in country in this country as an immigrant, and he did a great head of job for us, our community. We salute him. He's a trailblazer of our entire Bangladeshi community in America. Not only that, he shows the path to all Bangladeshis, expected Bangladesh throughout the world, that what a Bangladeshi man abroad can do if they go by law, if they pay their dues. So yes, Mr. Sheikh Roman, was it your say us a few words and
Thank you, Mr. Anis Ahmed. Thank you, Ambassador of the Era Graceland. I hope you can hear me. I'm actually middle of Georgia, right in a parking lot. If you can see the parking lot, I'm in a Walmart parking lot. I'm traveling. I told you that I'm going to try to stop by. I've been waiting a few minutes because one thing you got to realize: we're in Georgia. I'm in a Trump heart of the Trump County. I'm in a district where the caucus is Republican caucus is chairman district. But anyway, I'm here for some other reason. But glad to be here, and thank you for all the Bangladeshi community around the country for supporting and electing Biden. It's a great opportunity for us as a Bangladeshi. I'm proud. I know you're proud. I'm proud for all the Bangladeshi what you all did. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure
Yes.
you can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But I said, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to say thank you to all the community leader, all the folks, especially the people from Pennsylvania, and I did several state, California. I think several of the Bangladesh from outer state came to Georgia to help us. So I'm really proud of those folks. I wasn't able to meet them because of my schedule. I'm really busy. People might not realize last 6 months I couldn't do nothing because of election. Now I'm in a session. I go to home, go to work early in the morning, and come back at night at dark. This weekend is the only time, so I'm doing some stuff for myself. I'm not out today for the political reason, but for my personal, because I'm trying to catch up some of my old stuff. But anyway, thank you very much. Only one thing I'm going to mention to you all: make sure Bangladeshi American, I know we are more than probably 98% vote Democrat, but around the country, we deserve more credit. We don't get credit. Media don't give us credit. One of the reasons we don't get credit because we try to work ourselves mostly. We need to work with the multiple, all the multinational community. We need to work with everybody. That's the only way. That's the only way we're going to get credit. I mean, I'm proud that we are voting 90 some percent for Democrat, we electing, but we deserve more credit. We got few people got appointed to the Biden administration. But if you compare with other community, Indian community, Pakistan community, they're way ahead of us. But why not us? We need to get more people to the cabinet, at the White House, the different, different secretary, different, So we need to do a better job of communicating and cooperating, working with all other community. And I know I'm not going to take too much time. Enjoy. I'm going to be, because I'm 3 hours from my home, the long way, long drive for me. And as I said, Georgia is a Republican state. I'm sitting, I'm at the parking lot because half of the Georgia doesn't have internet, but still people here voting Republican. Sometimes that's, it's mind boggling, but we are cracking. We're going to win 2022 governorship. I have a good news. One good news happened yesterday. I was elected to the chairman of the Gwinnett delegation, legislative delegation, which is the second most diverse, not diverse, populous county in the state of Georgia. 6 years ago, a few years ago, Republican control. Today, Sheikh Rahman is the chairman of the legislative delegation of Georgia. And we should be, all of us should be proud of it, not only for myself, but this is the change Georgia, this is all the change that's going on in Georgia. And I thank you for your support and appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
You have to unmute yourself, Anis, uncle.
Thank you, Senator Rahman, for giving us time on your way to 3 hour journey, and and also a great appreciation that you get from Meng. We don't need to give any more because our appreciation far less than what Grace Meng said. And we have next person online, and I need to introduce who is she. She is Belle Leon Hong. And Belle Leon Hong, everybody knows her very well. She is the chair of AAPI, DNC AAPI, and she's also the super delegate. And she is also the, what can I say, one of the architect and helping hand to get our Bangladeshis for Biden National Council get formed. I don't need to tell, but she has another credential. I think if I'm not wrong, Belle, please correct me, you were the Deputy Assistant Secretary under President Bill Clinton. If I'm not wrong, please correct me. And without further ado, Ms. Bell Leon Hong, floor is yours.
Thank you so very much, Anis. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be here tonight with you all. Tonight we celebrate, and I want to celebrate all of us. It is because of you and each and every one of you and your effort that we are able to celebrate the presidency of Joe Biden and vice presidency of Kamala Harris. It is a day of celebration for many, many respects. But I also want to single out my friend Anis, my friend Sheikh Rahman, and all of you around the country who has poured all your heart, your soul, your hard work into making this effort possible. I think what I want to say, and I want to also take a moment of personal privilege to thank my friend, Congresswoman Grace Meng. Grace was my partner and my, well, I hope that she will continue to be my partner in our fights ahead. But it was my pleasure and my privilege to work with her as the caucus chair when she was the vice chair at the DNC. Without her, I have to share with you, without her, a lot of the things that we were able to accomplish as an AAPI community would have been impossible. She was there with, you know, kind of what we say, how we say in the military, to provide air cover, so that whenever we needed something, she was there to make sure that it happened. So thank you very much, Grace. I want to also tell you that she is a prime example of why it is so important for us all to have a voice at the table, not only as an elected member of Congress, but also at the DNC. So I want to talk a little bit about Grace for a minute, because that has bearing in what we all do as well. So as the Congresswoman from New York, in addition to helping her constituency, she actually took care of all of us APIs from her perch. It was the anti-hate resolution that she introduced last fall is, you will see a lot of the words that were in that resolution reflected in the anti-hate message that President Biden issued just earlier this week. So she laid the foundation. The entire AAPI caucus in Congress working together laid the foundation for making sure that our voices, our collective voices, are heard. So what that brings me to conclude is that it is important for all of us to not only participate and be there to make sure that that we elect the president and the vice president, but it is also important that you yourself find amongst you people to elevate and to have them, encourage them to run for office at every level. Not only, you know, if you want to start at the local level, please start at the local level. Sheikh Rahman is a huge example of what can be accomplished. When he was still in my caucus, actually, he was a member of the DNC and a member of my AAPI caucus when he started running for senator. And he told me that he actually went and walked every possible precinct in his district across Georgia. That takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of energy, and that takes a lot of effort. But that's what it takes to get elected. But having been there as the first Bangladeshi American to be elected to an important post in Georgia, that opens the pathway for all of you, for all of us, to make sure that we run and that we also participate in not only in the elective process, but also, you know, once you get elected and once we get our candidates elected, it is also important for us to say, you know, it is time for you to also appoint us, people that looks like us, to positions of importance in the government. This is the time, but remember that in in this administration, it's at the very least we have 4 years, and hopefully we'll have more than that. So the 4 years, we can continue to ask for appointments, and we can continue to seek those appointments. So I encourage you to continue to create a pipeline of people that are interested in running for office, and to nurture all of those talents, and know that all of us around the country, our entire AAPI community is out there to support you. I want to say one more thing, and that's to call out Anise. I have known, and I've been working with Anise for quite a number of years, and I have to tell you, he is like an energizing bunny. Every time that there is something that needs to be done, we can count on Anise. His enthusiasm, his energy is so amazing. When we started the API Leadership Council in Maryland, and the chair of the Maryland API Council is Devang Shah. One of the things that Devang did was to create a network of sub-councils around the state, but that was regional. And Anise stood up and said, but I want a Bangladeshi American group within this council, and we created one. And that was the foundation also for the Bangladeshi for Biden group that we started later on last year. So thank you very much, Anise, for your leadership and for your energy and for everything that you've been doing for all of these years. It wasn't just yesterday that you did this, it has been for a long time, Lang, and I know that you will continue to do that into the future. And like Anise, I know that there are many Bangladeshi around this call that has the same kind of energy and the same kind of enthusiasm. And to you all, I say thank you and appreciate making all of the efforts that you have put in making sure that we all succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. It was my high honor that I could work with you, and I have been working with you. Your every single word always encouraged me. And believe me, whenever and wherever I go, they ask me, do you know Bill? And I am honored to know you. And I have been working with you. You are instrumental and inspirational to me. And thank you, and thanks for joining, and thank what you did for our council. My hats off for you. And now I'm going to introduce our one gentleman whom I know for many years, working together as a commissioner and also leader with the Maryland Democratic Leadership Council. He always has been working behind the scene, and he is the instrumental, like what Mr. Bell did say, instrumental to the creation of Bangladeshis for Biden National Council, that he worked hard to the national level to get our council to get position in the national platform. Nobody knows that what he did for our council and Bangladeshi in America. Now we have platform, and this platform, this came to existence with the help of Bill Leon Hong and Devang Shah and some others. I really thankful to them. And without further ado, Mr. Devang Shah, please say a few words. You are a great man, you are a great leader, and you are a pioneer. And I know that your daughter is going to be the great leader in coming future. Mr. Devang Shah.
Thank you, Anise, for those very kind words. Usually those kind words are reserved for someone's funeral. So I reckon it's kind of nice to hear them while one is alive. So thank you. Today is a celebration for all of you. We are excited to celebrate an Asian American that is in office for the first time as vice president. And we are here to celebrate all the work that the Bangladeshi American community did to make that happen. And we're also here to celebrate each and every one of you for the grassroots effort that you undertook to make this happen, to have an Asian American, a South Asian, as a vice president of the United States. But we're also here to celebrate the leadership, okay? Because the leadership of Bell Leong Hong, Congresswoman Grace Meng, Senator Rahman, Anis Ahmed, and so many others. Because, you know, in my opinion, a leader is someone who demonstrates what is possible when none of us think it wasn't possible, right? And Bell Leong Hong, about 2 decades ago, says, I want to see an Asian American as president of the United States. And I said, you're crazy, Bell. It's never going to happen, right? But she enlisted me. She enlisted Anis. Senator Rahman ran for office when it wasn't possible. Congresswoman Grace Meng, the first woman in her district, Asian woman district, to become congressman and vice chair of the Democratic Party. And then you have Ambassador Siddiqui, who's been doing this for over 2 decades. They knew this was possible, but it took a lot of hard work. It did not come overnight. And you know, there's that famous statement, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a first step, and Bell Leong Hong started taking those first steps with all the other leaders. And why do I bring this up? Because we did so much during this past cycle. We came together and we worked together, as Senator Rahman said, whether you're Bangladeshi, Indian American, Pakistan American, Chinese American, we all worked together to defeat what it was and restore our democracy and ensure that Trump did not come back to office. But what we want to do and what we have to keep in mind is to build upon this foundation. We cannot let go of the great network that has been created by Anis Ahmed and so many leaders here in the Bangladeshi community in the grassroots, because you didn't do this one time. We not only won in November, we won in January. One time may be luck, twice means you have the right infrastructure in place and it's the right skill and leadership to make it happen. So let's keep this up. Let's keep the network. And so we can have future Senator Rahmans, we can have future congressmen, we can have future school board members from the Bangladesh community, as Bell Leong said. And you know what? There's no reason we can't have a future Bangladeshi American or vice president of the United States if we continue this infrastructure. So let's continue working together. Let's follow the leadership of who we have in place. Let's develop the next set of leaders and plant the seeds. And we will see that Bangladeshi American as president of the United States in my lifetime. So that's what I'm going to tell Bell. We're going to see a Bangladeshi American. Thank you, Anis, for all your hard work. And thank you to the community, Bangladeshis.
Thank you, Devansha, my good friend, and many of you don't know who he is. He is also senior advisor to the South Asians for Biden. And again, I said, my profession is a lawyer. He's a very successful lawyer in this region. Everybody knows him very well, and I would say he's the man that is always helpful for every community. Thank you, Devan. Now I go back to Mr. Shahidul Mannan for videos and his introduction.
Thank you, Anis Bhai, and for inviting me, and thanks to all the organizers of the event. Thanks for letting me speak a few words. It's an honor, certainly, to join tonight's celebration with so many wonderful Bangladeshi American activists. My name is Shahidul Mannan, and thanks for the kind introduction earlier. Happy to collaborate and be part of this wonderful event. I'm a Bangladeshi American from Massachusetts, and I'm also co-founder of Bangladeshi Americans for Biden-Harris, a group of 3,500 Bangladeshi Americans nationwide supporting Biden-Harris and progressive campaigns. I, along with a few other activist leaders, co-founded this platform to drive our community to participate actively in this very critical election that we just had, and to empower the Biden-Harris movement among Bangladeshi Americans, and in fact, all immigrant communities across the nation. And within the first few months, we reached over 3,500 members across the nation. And just in the last few months of the election campaign, we organized more than 12 GOTV events with elected members, senators, state members, community activists, and candidates for Congress and various state offices. Some of the activists and our all activism and events were around, making us successful in the election. So we raised funds for Biden-Harris and for Senate campaigns. We ran campaigns and raised funds for Bangladeshi candidates Dr. Nina Ahmed in Pennsylvania, who ran for Auditor General, and Donna Imam in Texas, who ran for Congress. And we also ran million text campaigns, over 100,000 phone banking, over 50,000 postcard campaigns, organized rallies, pretty much getting on all types of activism to get our country back on track with all hands on deck. And we are so happy to finish the line successfully with all of you, everyone on this call. Everyone's contribution made a difference. And we are ecstatic to see that hope, decency, competency, and patriotism is finally back to America. I firmly believe that with Biden as president and Kamala Harris as our first women, African American, South Asian vice president, our country will get back on the right path. But we still have a lot to do, as we all, and part of the syllabus is also to find our forward. As an immigrant community, we need to stay united. We need to participate in the mainstream politics and social activism. And together, we will always have a stronger voice and be able to get our voice at the table. Together, we can build that force to push for the last margin of votes that makes the decisive win. With over 20 million immigrants, close to 1 million of Bangladeshi Americans, we can provide that critical support that is direly needed on the progressive side. Our voting turnout, unfortunately, has been historically low. It certainly got better this time, thanks to everyone on this call and outside for their effort for voter registration and calling everyone to vote. But we got to do better, and there's a lot more to do. We need to register more voters among our communities and immigrant communities and get them to the booth every time. We need to get our thought leadership in this country's policies. And it all starts with organizations and events like this. So I'm very happy to see this wonderful gathering tonight and happy to participate, collaborate. And I hope we will continue to work together to empower Biden presidency, our country, and our Bangladeshi community in the coming days. So thank you all again, and very happy to be here. Now we'll move to a few videos to hear the voice from the Bangladeshi Americans about the election, about celebration. Bear with me while I find the videos and start with that.
The Biden presidency was a great win for America, and I hope that we all hold this administration accountable to fulfill the promises that they made, from an executive order on masks to healthcare policies that would prevent coronavirus deaths, as well as investing in our education. I look forward to Biden uniting diverse Americans together so that we can overcome the effects of COVID-19.
My name is Oishorja, and today I'm going to talk about why I want everyone to vote for Kamala Harris. First reason why is because Kamala Harris is a woman, and also I follow women empowerment. And also the second reason is that Kamala Harris is Indian, and my community, like Indian and Bangladesh, that is my community. And she's clearing the path for my community and making it smooth for everyone to run and go for president. So, whoever is watching, uncles, aunts, grandparents, and relatives, and everyone that has a time to vote, please vote for Kamala Harris.
Brother Manan, do you want to bring in just that one dance video before moving on to our state director speaking?
Yeah, let me do that.
Could you even dance, Mannan?
I just want to make sure everybody knows that the young girl who was speaking is a courtesy of Fabana Mainstream Liaisons Committee, and we're really proud of her.
Mannan? So I'm going to the next segment. I'm going to introduce our state directors who help us campaigning our candidates, and they work as a foot soldiers. We have created 13 state directors in 13 states, and some of these state directors work next to their states. So where you couldn't appoint any state director. So without further ado, I'm going to start with alphabetic way. My first state director is that work. His name is Mr. Adelmia, Dr. Adelmia. Please, floor is yours, and it is 1 minute. Every director will speak 1 minute, except two state directors, Nazda Alam and Malcolm Mesbodin, only 2 minutes. Then, Mr. Adelmia, floor is yours. Thank you very much. Professor Adelmia, Dr. Adelmia. Okay, next, if he's not there, I go to Florida State, State of Florida.
You cannot hear me. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Who is this, Mr. Adelmia?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, please.
Well, thanks, Mr. Rahman. We had a lot of encouraging words for the future and a lot of appreciations. I'm the Arkansas representative for the Bangladeshi Americans for Biden. I was in regular contact, telephone contact with Bangladeshi community leaders in Arkansas cities. I told them to reach out all Bangladeshi Americans for voting. Those who would not be able to vote in person could use, vote by mail. And I also tried to contact Oklahoma, the neighboring state. Also, I was registered for phone banking in Wisconsin. That's all I have to say. I think I didn't take a whole 1 minute. Somebody else can use my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dr. Adelmia. You have done a great job in the red state. That whatever you could, next time we will make this red state to blue. And your first step is always helpful. Go to the next step. Again, thank you. And I go to next state director, Mr. Harun Said, director for Florida. Harun Said, floor is yours. Mr. Said Harun.
Good evening. This is Saeed Harun. I'd like to thank to our National Director, Mr. Anis Ahmed, and all other state directors, coordinators, volunteers, for all your hard working to make this happen. We win. And I also like to our Florida Deputy Director, Mr. Mazharul Islam, and Chief Coordinator Shahri Noor, Coordinator Rafiq Haq, Coordinator Mohammad Moshin, Coordinator Faisal Biraj, Coordinator Riazul Muhammad, and volunteer Taznia Khanam and Aisha Jinnat and Tabassum Hassan. And thank you all for working with us, and we congratulate you again. Thank you.
I asked Director Georgia of State of Georgia, MD Ali Hossain. Floor is yours for 1 minute. Thank you. MD Ali Hossain.
Mute. Hello,
Yes, sir.
you here?
Yes, sir.
Sir, my name is MD Ali Hussain. I'm in the State Director, Georgia. Thank you for the leader, Ambassador Dewan Shah, and Ambassador and Mr. Anis, and all of leader. Thank you very much. I have a, this is, I have a working more. I have a 15 member. My name already I tell, my Deputy Director, Ahmadur Rahman, Chief Coordinator, Mohan Jabbar, and Coordinator Saeed Alam, Coordinator MD Rahman Azad, Coordinator Tisha, Coordinator Saima Hussain, Coordinator Aki, Coordinator Ulfa, Coordinator Reza Karim, Coordinator Uttum K. Deb, Coordinator Saidul Islam, Coordinator uh, Abu Bakr Talukdar, and Sheikh Zamal. And thank you, Mujlish Mujid. Mujlish, thank you very much. This is a hard working. And thank you, Mr. Anis. And I'm also one cloth I call you and disturb a lot of, but it's great. And John Ossob and Rafat on our win. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless America.
Thank you, MD Ali Hussain, for your great work. I know that you worked very hard during this COVID time. You not only knocked the door, you campaigned through various ways, as standing on the street, and also
I'm also thank you,
Parallel.
Sheikh Rahman, a lot of help me,
And I'm going to, and for your efforts and every verse and your campaign dedication, helped our John also.
And also ASEL President leader
Okay.
Mesbabai is
Sure.
great. Thank you,
And-
Ben.
And you help Mr. Warren. Now I go to State Director Maryland, Mr. Ghulam Maula. Mr. Maula?
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you well.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was given only 1 minute to talk. So first I'd like to introduce Bangladeshi for Biden team in Maryland. Deputy Director Shahid Khan. I know a lot of people couldn't get into the Zoom right now, so I cannot introduce them in Zoom. So I'm going to just give their name. Coordinator, Kabirul Islam, Coordinator, Mizanur Rahman, Coordinator, Muhammad Kazal, Coordinator, Selim Hussain, Volunteer, Tasnuba Abedin. She has spent 2 hours every day phone banking during the election. Job well done, Tasnuba. She's one of them, couldn't get into it, so she's on Facebook right now, I believe. This is the first time Bangladeshi was recognized by Biden team. This was possible only because of Anis Ahmed. I'd like to thank him for his hard work and his leadership. Thanks all the state director and volunteer. Now my recommendation will be, we all state directors should have at least once every month meeting. So what will be our next agenda, and what can we do after that? So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say something.
Thank you, Mr. Maula, for your great suggestion. We will look forward to have this meeting and continue our momentum go. And I'm going to introduce our great leader, very trailblazer, very energetic young lady, Moshumi Khan, State Director for Michigan. Moshumi Khan.
Alaikum, good evening. Thank you very much for this wonderful celebration. I wanted to just also announce that it is being streamed on Facebook. I believe some of you have the link. I hope others can share it. But this is a celebration, and it is my honor to celebrate with this community. I come to you with love and hope and appreciation. There's a lot of learnings, and in the Michigan team, I'd like to give another appreciation and shout out to Mr. Nazmul Hassan, Mr. Sheikh Kadir, Muhid Mahmood, Hasina Haq, Sultana Haq, Shafiqul Hassan. Shafiq Hassan, and then our friends of the team, Bahar Uncle, Seema Ahmed, the Michigan community, Michigan friends and family. And particularly, I would give a shout out to my mother, who was always there, because I know all of us have our mothers, our husbands, our families who are there. But I say this very quickly because in this celebration, we must remember where we came from and where we're going. I look forward to working with all of you. We have a strong foundation, but now is a time to celebrate and appreciate where we've come. And yes, we know we have a long way to go, and we will go together, working together as a community. But thank you so much, and let's celebrate and build on this success so far. We've proven we can do it, we will do it, and carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Moshami Khan, for a great work that you could do did a great job, and that our leaders, our candidates elected, especially the swing state that you carry, and also help your next adjacent state. I know it's Wisconsin. You did a great job too. Thank you once again. And I'm going to introduce our next state director of North Carolina, Mr. Rashidul Islam. Mr. Rashidul Islam.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Anis bhai. This is my honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we heard.
Okay, okay. Thank you. It's my great honor to share such a wonderful evening with so many great leaders for API as well as from SAB. In fact, we have a long success story. First of all, I like to convey my thanks to the SAB leadership for believing on us. That is the first thing they did. Anis bhai, thank you so much. And I think we have a long laundry list to have the success, to celebrate all the success that we have. First of all, this is the first time everybody acknowledged that we have been evolved as a Bangladeshi community. I think that is priceless, and we have been waiting for that kind of opportunity for a long time. So I think we did our job, and though there is lots of bumpy ride, but finally we have our candidate in White House. I think that is the biggest success, biggest success that we have. Secondly, one of my coordinator, he also joined with us today. His name Shah Huda. But I am from North Carolina. I like to share a little bit success what we did in North Carolina. In North Carolina, we could make that statement that everyone who have been in North Carolina, they voted for Biden. How did we do that? We ran our voting list in comparison to 3.7 million voters. And finally, we found one Bangladeshi did not go for the vote, and we made sure that he went there. And every Bangladeshi in North Carolina, we can make that statement, they voted. Second thing we did, we not only turned to the Bangladeshi voter for Biden, also we made sure that in future they will be in the Democratic Party. Third thing we did, we came up with a what do you call that playbook that will tell how to form this kind of committee, how we can move forward with this idea. So again, for believing us, this is our great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to work all together. It's a great family SAB. Thank you, Anis bhai. Thank you, Devansha. Thank you, Belhang, for believing us. Again, we're looking forward all the success in future. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Mr. Rashid, thank you, Rashidul Islam. You remind me one thing that our Bangladesh SAB had a phone banking for 7 weeks, and we have internal competition. Ladies and gentlemen who are in this forum right now, in this Zoom meeting, I want to share with you with pride that Bangladeshi Council became the first for 4 consecutive weeks, and second, first 3 weeks and last 4 weeks, first in place did our phone banking. That means we did best in the sub council, South Asian for Biden. So it is in the book. I'm not talking about anything wrong. It's in the book that we have done our job. And not only that, we did, and we secure first place in campaigning within our community. And it is not only, it's not that I did, all state directors and coordinators, deputy directors, all full shoulder they did it. And we applaud for your good job. Now I go to State Director, New Jersey, Mr. Farooq Hussain. If you are there, please say a few words. Mr. Farooq Hussain also an elected official in Atlantic City. He's a very also a great leader in the community in Atlantic City in Georgia. Mr. Farooq Hussain, Florida.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. I would like to thank each and everyone, state director and volunteers who work really hard and support to elected Joe Biden as the president and Kamala Harris vice president. For me, is a double celebration because physically I did work the Florida 3 months for the Biden campaign for Take Back 2020, our union, Unite Here, and Georgia Senate runoff election. I work month and a half, 6 weeks over there, just back after election, and we did win. This is the huge history, victory for us for the Senate majority. So we need to stick together and make sure our Bangladeshi community should be accountable, not ignored. Also, Biden administration should listen and ensure the transparency. Campaign is not over, it's a start. We need to stick together. I have to mention our great leader, I am very proud of working those leaders. They are really iconic leader and they are leaders of leaders. Ambassador Usman Siddiqui and Senator Sheikh Rahman and Maap Misbauddin, who is the ASAL founder president. He is really iconic and inspired president for me and mentor for me, and Mr. Anis Ahmed and Anika Rahman. And I have to give shout out my New Jersey team who is working really hard for Biden campaign and helping a lot. Deputy Director, Mr. Atikuri Subjai, and SIP coordinator, really I have to give him shout out. He got a lot of phone banking. Mr. Akbar Hussain, he worked really hard for campaign time. And coordinator Zubair Ali, Muhammad Mohsin, and Nadia Hussain, Jahangir Kabir, Muhammad Shaheen, Sheikh Nasir, Muhammad Nobi, Joydev Kormokar, Saeed Shohid, Imtiaz Hussain, Litu, Abul Hussain Shuruman, and Abdul Rahman. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you all. God bless America. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Farooq Hussain. I skipped one, and I'm going back to that. Ms. Nazda Alam, State Director for State of Massachusetts. Ms. Nazda Alam, I understand you have to say a few words more for our community, for our next generation. Please, floor is yours, Ms. Nazda Alam. Unmute.
Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the event organizer to give me a chance to speak before this honorable audience. I am proud to be one of you. I want to say a few words about where Bangladeshi Council for Biden go from here, what the plan for this council for next 4 years. It is important for us to keep engage our community, not only the leaders, the general voter, regular voters, Bangladeshi community in grassroots level. I will echo to my all-time favorite Speaker of the House from Massachusetts, Tip O'Neill. He said, all politics is local. I would like to see all of us involved in our local Democratic Party, participate in the local election, either running or campaigning for someone, like school committee, town, city committee, trade union, labor union, many local institutions, and we can use our expertise. My focal point is to connect Bangladeshi people with mainstream social setting, to attend annual town meeting, read local tablet, newspaper, have a coffee, talk with your non-Bangladeshi neighbors, colleague, co-worker, or somebody see in the supermarket. We must be aware what is going on in our own community. Do you know why? Because America is our adoptive home. We are the part of the fabric of this land. So we are inside this land. So I have few outlines to our state director, organizer, and leaders. Please think and plan. Number one is any registered Bangladeshi Democrat is recommended to be a member of your Democratic town, ward, precinct, and state committee. We need to be an insider of the party to maneuver policies and our interests. Otherwise, we can't just make phone bank and vote for somebody. We have to energize our interests. And then I would also recommend to create a central body or committee for Bangladeshi Democrats. Works as a part of DNC. It must have membership, bylaws, charters, campaign, finance committee, and also ethical standard. And this body will meet periodically or have one central convention or meeting in any given calendar years. I think many people, we are saying same, but I wanted to see action. So I would say that tomorrow I will call my neighbor how she's doing. I will call my town clerk that how the vaccination is going. So get into the conversation with mainstream. That's my point. And it is important for this body to follow and work party platform to implement our shared democratic values and policy priorities. And thank you again. And we will be in touch. We will be in a body next 4 years. And we will be happy and peaceful again 2024. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Ms. Nazda Alam. Just a short note. This event right now is streaming live throughout the world through USA News Online. So anybody can go to USA News Online and watch this, and also YouTube and Facebook. You don't need to worry to join this. You can just go online and use USA News Online, and you can see that our show. Next, also I'm going to request our fierce speaker, who speaks very eloquently, very strong, and with meat on it. And not only that, everybody knows him very well because of his strong voice with good good points, I would say. And everybody knows him. He's a union leader, Mr. Maf Mesbauddin. I know him for the last more than a decade working with him, and he helped me out in this election. So, Mr. Maf Mesbauddin, floor is yours, but request, make it very short. Others are waiting.
Thank you very much. I just started leaders of Bangladeshis for Biden. Ambassador Usman Siddiqui, you are not here yet. I don't know what is the reason. National Director Anis Ahmed. Dibang Shah, of course, my friend. I wanted to be like you. I told you before. And Ben Leong Hong, I know you for a long time because I still sit in the FALA International Executive Board since 2005. All state directors from different states, including ASA leaders who were part of the Bangladeshis for Biden. New Jersey Director Farooq Hussain, Georgia Director Muhammad Ali Hussain, Michigan Director Moushumi Khan, Pennsylvania Director Kaji Motiur Rahman, New York Capital Region Director Mizanur Rahman, US Capital Director Sharafat Hussain Babu, yours truly, Director of New York State, Moshad Alam, Deputy Director, Muhammad Karim Chaudhary, Chief Coordinator, Dr. Mujibur Rahman, Brooklyn Coordinator, Syed Tahmidul Haq, Bronx Coordinator, Munirul Islam, Queens Coordinator, Muhammad Chaudhary, Manhattan Coordinator, Jamila Uddin, New York Women's Coordinator, Hanaf Alam, New York Youth Coordinator, and ASA leaders who joined us today at this event. brothers and sisters, recently South Asian for Biden celebrated collective efforts of
Hello.
so many with collective accomplishment together. South Asian for Biden acknowledged leaders where they started at the beginning with 3 people, raising to 85 board members, and SAB delivered not once at the national election, then of course, Georgia to senator. Ms. Neha Dewan, we met her through this. She was a lucky, and her luck touches us. And we became part of SAB as Bangladeshis for Biden under the leadership Ambassador Osman Siddiqui and Anis Ahmed. She gave a statistics at the South Asian for Biden collective accomplishment was also right, making over 100,000 calls. The fact was that, as Anis Ahmed mentioned, Bangladeshis for Biden was second in first 3-week calls, phone banking, and who stood first in last 4 weeks of phone banking. But sad indeed that you